Folks, the Buffalo Bills are 1-0. And you know what? I wanted to hop on here real fast and give you my instant reactions. As many of you that join my live play-by-play reaction, I certainly appreciate you. We had a hell of a time, and you ended up witnessing a roller coaster of emotions. I spent an entire offseason thinking that I was ready for the high blood pressure that this team causes me again, but damn, I was wrong. I was hoping more than anybody on the face of the planet that we could walk in and have an easy ride, but the Arizona Cardinals really ended up showing out. I have a lot of respect for the Arizona Cardinals organization. They had a hell of a damn game plan, but doesn't matter. Buffalo Bills end up coming out on top. So on today's video, I'm going to be dissecting everything that I liked and everything that I did not like, and then overall just sort of previewing what else is to come. We're obviously playing the Miami Dolphins this coming Thursday, so a lot to unpack. I do recommend that you go on ahead and you smash that like button for me. Like button goal on this video is 500, and also subscribe and turn on bell notifications. My goal is to have 50,000 subscribers by the end of this season, and I know that I have the best community in the entire history of the internet, and I know that we can achieve that goal. So I'll start off with some things that I didn't like, and surprise, surprise, vast majority of them happened at the first half, first quarter into the second. Number one, obviously, was the Josh Allen fumble when we were in the red zone by itself. Again, I want nothing more than the brain rot community to finally be defeated when it comes into Josh Allen's turnovers, right? He was spending way too much time in the pocket, and obviously he had a wide open Keon Coleman, if I remember correctly, right in the middle of the field, but obviously mistakes happen. And then when it came in to that entire first half, there were so many points that were left on the table. Obviously starting off with the Josh Allen fumble, and then O'Cyrus Torrence end up grabbing that face mask, which ended up taking a touchdown off of the board where we had to settle for a field goal. And surprisingly enough, folks, the penalties did not stop there. What was the most frustrating was that phantom roughing the passer call, where you end up seeing Christian Benford clearly pull himself away from hitting Kyler Murray, and the refs end up throwing the flag. Had a very similar situation later into the fourth quarter, where Josh was definitely targeted after he slid, but absolute crickets from the refs. But outside of that complete blind call from the Zebras, absolute terrible discipline from our offensive line. We saw Spencer Brown collect 2 penalties. We saw Deion Dawkins collect a couple of penalties here and there. Really need to clean this up, especially when I'm sitting there watching the Arizona Cardinals go an entire game with maybe 1 penalty from the offensive line side of things. It was wildly frustrating. So something I really hope that Cromer can instill in their minds, because obviously, we know we're going to be getting bad calls all season. It happens to each and every single team. But do whatever we can to mitigate us shooting ourselves in the damn foot. Now, let's go on ahead and get into the positives of the game. And folks, this is going to be the vast majority of the video, because what I saw from this offense all game was everything that we were dreaming that it would be this offseason. Starting off with Josh Allen. So dude went 18 for 23, 232 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks, by the way. Thank you, Jesus Christ. And then he also ended up adding 9 carries for 39 yards and 2 more touchdowns. A 4-touchdown performance for our leader. Now, folks, I'm not sure if this had something to do with that BS article that came out suggesting that he was overrated, but this right here was an MVP performance. Everybody in the mainstream media is going to be sucking him off for the next couple of days until we play the Miami Dolphins. Loved what I saw from Josh Allen, and it wasn't even him focusing on one specific player. We heard this all off-season. Everybody is going to eat. And damn, I would say that they did. Our leading receiver, obviously, Keon Coleman, 4 receptions for 51 yards, and that absolute beauty of a catch just shy of the end zone. I was hoping that he could pull it off and get in there, but he put on display everything that made him so special, as into why we justified the pick in the first place. Tight coverage from Murphy Bunting, or whatever his last name is, over on the Cardinals. He won with physicality, and while that corner was all over his ass, he still came up with the ball. a true 50-50 ball wide receiver is on the Buffalo Bills. Can you absolutely believe it? But with 4 receptions being the thing, if you simply just look at the distribution on the box score. Next up was Khalil Shakir at 3 receptions for 42 yards and a touchdown. Then it was James Cook, who was heavily involved in the pass game as well. 3 receptions, 32 yards. Matt Collins, 2 receptions for 25 and a touchdown. And then obviously Dawson Knox, 1 for 23. MVS, 1 for 19. This truly, folks, was everybody eats. Joe Brady. Shout out to Joe Brady. He finally has his own playbook out on the market. He was run heavy. He was spreading the ball around. It is going to be very difficult for defenses to plan against this Buffalo Bills offense. And make no mistake, a lot of us are going to suggest that we were having issues at the beginning of the game, the first and second quarter. I would argue that we did not. We did not miss a beat on offense. The only thing that screwed us was obviously the fumble for Josh at the beginning of the game and the face mask from Osiris Torrance. This Buffalo Bills team offensively was moving the ball at will. And you absolutely love to see it. Now moving on to the defense, right? This was certainly hit or miss because it was frustrating watching the Arizona Cardinals almost have their way with us the entire first half of the game. I have to shout out to Sean McDermott and Bobby Babich for being able to make adjustments because we did make some splash plays, but at the exact same motion, this Arizona Cardinals team was scoring at will, especially at the beginning of the game. But as far as positives are concerned, we stepped up when it mattered most. Shout out to Gregory Rousseau. Dude collected 3 sacks in one game, one of which was a forced fumble, in which that converted over to the Buffalo Bills that helped us take that lead. And Von Miller, for the love of God, first time we've seen this guy in 2 years, he finally ends up collecting a damn sack. So the pass rush I was very pleased with. If Gregory Rousseau can keep up this exact same trajectory, then it's going to be a bright season. Perhaps he's 10-plus sacks, and maybe Von Miller even collects about 7 or 8 when it comes into pressures. You love to see it. Now, weakness from the defense is hands down tackling. I cannot tell you how many missed tackles I saw today, especially with James Conner runs, same thing with Trey Benson runs. This needs to be cleaned up almost immediately. I wasn't even so upset about the run defense in general. Very few long stretch runs were hurting us. It was really just Buffalo Bills players being incapable of finishing their tackles. So as much as I would love to give this team some more shit about the secondary, they did end up stopping Greg Dortch with that final 4th and 7 attempt from Kyler Murray at the end of the day. So overall, folks, the Buffalo Bills win 34-28. This is solid. This was a must-win for us, especially since these next couple of games are going to be interesting. We have the Miami Dolphins coming on Thursday. Then following that, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Baltimore Ravens. So there's going to be a lot more tests. But what I need for us moving toward this 2024 season is definitely that exact same trajectory from the offense. Stay as well balanced as humanly possible. Make everybody eat. Defense certainly needs to be the second half defense that we saw rather than the first half. But I think that's just going to take some time for Bobby Babich to develop as a defensive play caller. I think it's only going to be in well due time. But super excited about this team. I was just watching the press conference for Josh Allen. It appears that he is getting x-rays on his left hand. He did say in Josh Allen fashion, quote unquote, it is fine. Let's cross our fingers. Let's hope that he doesn't miss any games. That hurdle that he did was highlight worthy, but damn, Josh, we all know that if you were not on this damn team, this team wins maybe 3 games, if that. But hell of a win, guys. I appreciate everybody joining for my live game reaction. For those of you that did, like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on bell notifications, more importantly, so you never miss an upload or a live stream. And as always, I will see you tomorrow.